Sinai-Grace joins forces with the Grandmont Community Group. Is your body art sending the wrong message during a job interview? And an interesting new trend in HIV. These stories and more coming up next on Sinai-Grace Today. Hello, I'm Melanie Moss. Sinai-Grace is proud to be an important part of the Northwest Detroit community, and we do our best to support community efforts outside our four walls. Just recently, we secured a grant with the Grandmont Community Group. Our neighbors will benefit from the increased outreach.
Shortly after our groundbreaking ceremony, there was an email exchange between myself and the Grandmont Rosedale Development Corporation. They were seeking funding to assist with the transportation needs for their farmers market to members of the community, more specifically the seniors in the community. And as a result of that email exchange, I suggested that we meet, and after we met, it was clear to me that that was a partnership that we wanted to be a part of.
We're so excited. Health and wellness support is going to enable us to actually have 3 different types of programs at our market this season. First of all, they're giving us a grant to have a senior citizen shuttle. We're going to make stops at a variety of senior citizen housing in the neighborhood and bring seniors to our market to shop for fresh, healthy, locally grown, nutritious, delicious food. The second grant that we're getting from Health and Wellness Foundation is going to allow us to have some free health screenings and some free cooking demonstrations. The health screenings are going to help people know what their blood pressure is, what their cholesterol is, whether they're at risk for diabetes, what their blood sugar is. And we're going to do those once a month, and we're also going to do once a month, we're going to have cooking demonstrations from Chef Antonio, who's going to help us have fresh, healthy, locally grown, nutritious food that is not going to make us ill, is going to keep us healthy. Everybody in the community is really excited. This is going to be our 7th season of operating the market. We're really proud. We started it back in 2006 before people were really paying that much attention. And it's been a success every year. People are really excited that we're going to be able to add this additional programming so that people will be able to take advantage of all these opportunities, not just shopping for healthy food, but also increasing their access to health.
The Grandmont Community Group works to better their neighborhoods where the people of Detroit live and work. We all know how tough the job market is today, and having a tattoo can be a disadvantage when interviewing for a job. That's why tattoo removal is up 32% over the last year.
There's probably been an increase in the number of tattoos. It used to be estimated that 9 to 10% of the population had a tattoo, but most of the studies now show it's upwards close to 15%. So a bit of an increase, 4 or 5%. Definitely the population I have is motivated to remove the tattoo. And the reason that is that there still is sort of a social stigma to having a tattoo. Many of these individuals are applying for work, looking for work, especially in this kind of down economy. It's more difficult to get jobs, and they feel that having the tattoo, particularly in an exposed area, is a detriment to them gaining a job. The only the most effective way, the least injurious to your skin, is using the selective lasers that we have. These are what are called Q-switch lasers. These are colored lights that are selectively absorbed and dissolve the tattoo ink without burning the adjacent skin. The process works best for blue, black, green, red. Certain colors, such as yellow and orange, do not respond as well to this process. But most tattoos are primarily blue-black. On the average, it would be, for an average size tattoo, somewhere between 6 and 12 sessions.
If you want to learn more about removing your tattoos, contact Sinai-Grace's Laser Center. If you're middle-aged and single, listen to this. HIV rates are increasing in 40, 50, and 60-year-olds as they form new partnerships.
We have a lot of 50-plus year HIV-infected patients. Our rate of that group has not changed much. However, one of the important aspects of HIV in the state of Michigan is that for every 3 HIV-infected patients who are known to be infected, there's 1 that is not known. So 25% of patients living with HIV don't know that they're living with HIV. And we believe that a good part of that group would be the 50+ year. Anybody who feels that they have engaged in some high-risk behavior should always think about getting tested. The clinic is set up for early detection, so we are a testing center. So anybody who is interested in getting to know what their HIV status is can walk in and we will be happy to test them. If the test is positive, we provide all subsequent HIV care for the infected person.
Are your feet fit for flip-flops, or is it best that you keep them undercover? Lesley Harding caught up with one Sinai-Grace podiatrist to talk about a common foot condition that affects more women than men.
Is it getting harder and harder to find shoes that fit? Are the ones you own giving you blisters or causing irritation? Bunions may be your problem.
A bunion is a bone in the foot that sticks out when the big toe joint is crooked. Most of the time it's something that's passed on in your family genetics. Sometimes shoes like high-heeled shoes and pointy-toed shoes exacerbate the condition, but I don't believe that they cause it. Symptoms, it's a visualized crooked joint, a piece of bone sticking out, redness, swelling within the joint, pain with different shoe gear and activities.
There are many ways to treat bunions, both with surgery and without.
Non-surgically, wider shoes, mesh shoes, any shoe that could be stretched, or a shoe with straps that accommodate the bunion could be worn. Injections of cortisone can relieve some of the inflammation. Anti-inflammatory medications like Motrin and Advil can relieve some of the discomfort. Pads in the shoes can alleviate some of the discomfort. Pretty much those are the only things non-surgical that will help to alleviate the discomfort from a bunion. There are different surgical options that you can have for painful bunions. If it's just the bump of bone and there's not a significant crooked joint, then just the piece of bone could be surgically removed. If it's more aggressive, where there is the malalignment of the big toe joint, then most of the time the bone has to be cut, repositioned so the joint is then straight, and then the bump of bone is then removed after that.
To make an appointment with Dr. Mady or any of Sinai-Grace Hospital's feet experts, call 313-966-4800.
Is it true that you have to wait a half an hour before swimming after eating?
No, you don't need to wait any particular time frame after you eat in a meal to go swimming. Both swimming and eating require increased metabolic activity from your body, so that's why in the past people have been told to wait after you eat a meal to go swimming. So this myth has been busted.
That's all for this edition of Sinai-Grace Today. Remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, you can watch every edition of our show by going to our Sinai-Grace Today YouTube channel. I'm Melanie Moss. Thanks for watching.